Today's news highlights 20251003. Date October 3, 2025. Republic of China 114/10/3. Time cutoff point, 1500 hours on the same day. Source, Internet, major news media and channels, official accounts, app data. The channel content is only concise news content and does not have any perception or emotion. News highlights 59-year-old Singaporean photographer Chen Chuanduo maintains a 29-year-old physique and relies on diet and exercise to fight against aging. Experts point out that muscle building requires a 3:1 ratio of carbohydrates to protein, not protein alone. Chen Chuan eats 6 eggs for breakfast and only leaves 2 yolks, taking into account nutrition and cholesterol control. Daily intake of antioxidant foods such as black garlic, blueberries, and chia seeds, exercise 3 to 4 times a week, and maintain low body fat to show a healthy frozen life. News highlights grapefruit is low in calories, 34 kilocalories per 100 grams, and has a GI value of 25, making it a low GI fruit, rich in vitamin C, potassium, and dietary fiber, and has antioxidant, digestive, and cholesterol-lowering effects. However, patients with abnormal renal function, diabetes, and gastroesophageal reflux should eat with caution and avoid taking them at the same time as antihypertensive drugs, hypolipidemic drugs, sleeping pills, etc., so as not to affect the efficacy of the medicine. It should also not be eaten with coffee, tea, or high-potassium fruits. News highlights at the end of the 5th round of physical consultations between Taiwan and the United States, Executive UN Vice President Zhang Lijun said that Taiwan proposed a Taiwan model that is different from Japan, South Korea, and the European Union, using independent corporate planning, government financial credit insurance, and G2G cooperation to help the United States build industrial clusters and reduce corporate risks. At the same time, we will strive for Section 232 tariff incentives and reciprocal tax reductions to deepen cooperation in Taiwan's high-tech supply chains. News highlights on October 1, 2025, people from many countries gathered in front of the CCP embassies abroad to condemn the CCP's persecution since its founding in 1949 and regarded National Mourning Day as National Mourning Day. Demonstrators in Los Angeles burned the 5-star flag, and pro-democracy activists in New York held protests and seminars to expose the CCP's 76 years of harm to the country and its people, and call for international attention to China's human rights and freedoms. News highlights the White House sent letters to 9 major universities, including MIT, USC, Penn, etc., requesting the signing of the Academic Excellence Agreement in higher education, promising to reform admissions, hiring, and international student policies, limit tuition increases, and comply with free speech and anti-Semitic measures in exchange for more federal funding and incentives. The agreement prohibits admissions based on race or gender, sets a cap on the proportion of international students, and requires compliance with foreign gift disclosure regulations. News highlights sweet potatoes are high in nutrient density and low in calories, making them a high-quality food for weight loss and sugar control. Nutritionists suggest that steaming and chilling can increase resistant starch, prolong satiety, and lower the glycemic index. Eating with the skin can supplement dietary fiber and help intestinal health. It is suitable for all ages, and even the elders can eat it. Simply making milk sweet potato puree can be both satiating and nutritious with less than 200 calories, making it a good choice for healthy snacks. News highlights yogurt is a high source of protein and calcium, especially suitable for those who are lactose intolerant. After fermentation with lactic acid bacteria, yogurt is not only easier to store but also provides probiotics to support gut health, improve immunity, and reduce the risk of colorectal cancer. Eating on an empty stomach can quickly absorb protein, and eating after meals can protect probiotics and aid digestion. Modern yogurt originates from Bulgaria, and the common strains are Streptococcus acidophilus and Lactobacillus bulgaricus. Studies have also shown that yogurt has the benefits of regulating blood pressure, blood lipids, immunity, protecting the liver, and improving mood, making it a fermented milk product that takes into account both nutrition and health care. News highlights Huang Rongsun, CEO of NVIDIA, said that the rapid expansion of AI data centers will create thousands of skilled jobs, and professions such as plumbers and carpenters will become key to the economies of various countries. NVIDIA recently invested $100 million to help OpenAI build a data center, highlighting the real demand. McKinsey estimates that global AI industry data center capital expenditure will reach $7 trillion by 2030, but the United States is facing a shortage of skilled workers, which may affect the return of the industry and construction progress. News highlights the United States promotes a reciprocal tariff policy, requiring countries to invest huge amounts in exchange for tariff preferences. Japan has signed a $550 billion investment agreement in the United States in exchange for 15% non-superimposed tariffs, sparking controversy over unequal treaties. Although some lawmakers believe that it can be seen as an opportunity to invest in emerging fields such as energy and medical care, some people warn that the huge amount may become a burden on the people, and pointed out the semantic trap of the United States. Experts suggest that countries should cooperate in negotiations to avoid bearing the pressure alone. News highlights: the U.S. Foreign Policy analyzed the death of Chinese actor Yu Hazy from a building in Beijing in September, pointing out that this incident reflects the information environment and rule of law dilemma in Chinese society. The official quickly characterized it as accidentally falling from a building after drinking, but it caused netizens to question various conspiracy theories, including rumors related to the entertainment industry or high-ranking officials. The article argues that China's online censorship and rumors are chasing each other, and the lack of transparency exacerbates public distrust, leaving fans with their own investigations to fill in the information gaps. The incident revealed that the lack of rule of law and fear under the CCP's rule deepened the people's distrust of the government and weakened the legitimacy of the regime. News highlights: the generative AI boom has driven U.S. stocks to rise, but research shows that the market is showing signs of bubbles, with capital expenditures of tech giants skyrocketing and valuations being high. If the bubble bursts, investors will suffer short-term damage, but AI technology still has the potential for long-term innovation and economic transformation, similar to the positive impact after the historical dot-com bubble. News highlights: the Financial Supervisory Commission will promote the long-term guarantee of life insurance policies, and the predetermined interest rates, mortality rates, and surcharge rates of new long-term policies in the future can be adjusted according to the market, and will no longer be locked for 20 to 30 years. This move can reduce the pressure on operators to guarantee costs, improve operational flexibility, and term life insurance is expected to become mainstream. News highlights: Nvidia's entry into BICE hike is on the verge of collapse. Shinkong Life Insurance proposed 3 plans that were not agreed upon by both the Beijing city government and Nvidia, emphasizing that funds have been prepared to implement the original development plan. The North City government said that if Xinjiao has different conditions, it can formally propose it to the council for review. New Taipei City stated that if the North City case fails, Lingkou A9 station can take over. News highlights: according to people familiar with the matter, Apple has suspended the Vision Pro revision plan and turned resources to develop smart glasses to compete with Meta. It is reported that Apple is developing 2 smart glasses, which will be launched as soon as 2025, with functions including voice control, photography, health tracking, and new chips. This move may trigger a reshuffle in the smart glasses market, but Apple still lags behind Meta in the field of AI and voice. News highlights: Japan's Liberal Democratic Party will elect a new president on October 4, and he is expected to become prime minister. The leading candidates are Sani Takaichi, Shinjiro Koizumi, and Yoshimasa Hayashi. The new prime minister will face U.S. trade pressures, China's regional provocations and domestic economic inflation challenges, and continue to maintain the Taiwan policy of if Taiwan has something, Japan will have something. News highlights: a random slashing case occurred in Mieli City yesterday, 2nd. A man surnamed Chu attacked a passerby in front of a convenience store with a knife, injuring 2 girls and 1 man. At the critical moment, a female teacher surnamed Huang in the parenting class bravely stepped forward to save the kidnapped girl to avoid more serious injury. Chu Nan was imprisoned for a crime in 2015, was released in March this year, and committed the murder again more than half a year later, and the victim girl is currently in stable condition. News highlights: recently, she was found wearing a vest of Democratic Progressive Party lawmaker Huang Shijun to help in the Hualien disaster area, causing netizens to ridicule her for a successful interview to become an assistant. She publicly responded that she was still an editor at a publishing house, but only assisted Huang Shijun's service team part-time, emphasizing that she had never claimed to join any civic group and was willing to respond positively to doubts. News highlights: Zhang Wanting debuted 27 years ago, and was shortlisted for the Golden Bell Supporting Actress for her role as Pan Yunyan in The Queen, injecting a boost into her who moved from the 8 o'clock slot to the series. She is highly ambitious, often gives up her feelings for work, and has no regrets even though she has been cheated on many times. Her ex-boyfriend of 7 years is now married, and he still simply congratulates her on being shortlisted for the Admiralty. The character in the play gave up her marriage for work, which gave Zhang Wanting a strong sense of déjà vu and revealed that she still wanted to be by her side. News highlights: after the flood in Guangfu Township, many homestays accepted volunteers for free, but recently a volunteer who lost his temper after drinking destroyed 2 tables, and the operator decided to suspend the reception. The 2 sides later communicated well, the volunteers promised compensation and expressed their gratitude, and the operator also assisted the volunteers in finding other accommodations, and the incident ended successfully. News highlights: since its opening at the end of 2023, the Taipei Dome has not only become an important venue for the secondary vocational school, but also open to the general public to rent and play baseball. 2.5 hours of rent of 10.5 yuan, deposit of 1 yuan, up to 60 people to participate, translated to about 1,750 yuan per person, attracting fans to experience the dream of playing in the big dome. News highlights: a male student surnamed Wu from Lingkou High School in New Taipei City was suspected of fraudulently soliciting funds from netizens under the guise of Shovel Superman disaster relief photos and Taiwan Railway tickets, and at least 3 people were deceived. The school has intervened in the interview, emphasizing that we will never protect our shortcomings and will cooperate with the police to clarify the truth. News highlights: the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York has hosted countless political and business celebrities since its opening in 1931, and was acquired by China Anbang Insurance in 2014 for $19.5 billion, and then closed for renovation. After Anbang founder Wu Ziawei was imprisoned, ownership was transferred to the Chinese government, and the epidemic was delayed. The cost of renovation soared to about $60 billion. The hotel will fully reopen by the end of this year, attracting much attention. News highlights: Taiwan was once the banana kingdom in the 1960s, exporting more than 40 metric tons to Japan annually, with a market share of more than 90%, and is the main source of foreign exchange. With industrialization, labor migration, yellow leaf disease and competition with Philippine bananas, exports have declined sharply. In recent years, the export volume has only been more than 1,000 metric tons, but Japan is still the largest buyer, accounting for more than 90%. News highlights: in addition to discussing with the supervising political opponent DPP legislator Wang Yushuan and Executive Yuan political commissar Chen Shizhong, former party leader Kei Wen's entered and exited the 88 Hall in 2022, and it is suspected that he was also the first to announce it by other media. In this regard, Wang Yushuan went to the Beijing prosecutor's office today, 3, to file a complaint against Huang and 7 other people, and he also admitted that being followed was quite scary when I think about it afterwards, and said that Huang didn't seem to have won in the past to fight the lawsuit. News highlights: Miali City was shocked by the random hacking case on the afternoon of the 2nd. A man surnamed Chu in his 40s tied a knife to his hand and rushed at passers-by without warning and stabbed him, injuring 2 elementary school girls and a middle-aged man. Among them, an 11-year-old girl surnamed Sue was stabbed in the chest, resulting in hemothorax and serious injuries. Another 11-year-old girl surnamed Ding suffered superficial injuries on her chest and lacerations on her right elbow. A 50-year-old man surnamed Lin was stabbed in the back and upper right abdomen. Fortunately, the 3 were conscious after being sent to the hospital and are still being treated. It is worth noting that Chu Nan also committed a random murder in the same supermarket 10 years ago, injuring 4 people. Now 10 years later, he committed the crime again with a knife, and the victim couldn't help but recall the thrilling process after learning the news, and said bluntly, "It is a big life to be able to live until now." News highlights: 9 on the 23rd of the month, the overflow caused a large amount of stream water to flood the downstream Guangfu township, which not only severely damaged the local homes, but also caused the tragedy of 18 deaths and 6 missing contacts. The Executive Yuan plans to make Typhoon Dinas and D728 special regulations on post-disaster recovery and reconstruction will add 20 billion yuan to help local reconstruction, but the Kuomintang Legislative Yuan Caucus is the leader summoned Fu Kunkai yesterday. 2The interview on the day said that the national compensation process should be initiated. In this regard, Premier Zhou Rongta today, 3I responded in the morning. News highlights: Hong Kong actor Chen Xiaodong once became popular again for his performance in Lanling King and has recently focused on China's development. The news of the sudden death of Chinese artist Yu Hao shocked the outside world, and the entertainment industry was silent, but Chen Xiaodong rarely posted a message asking for the truth. Although it was deleted immediately, it still attracted attention. Recently, it was rumored on the internet that he once again bombarded the hypocrisy of the Chinese entertainment industry, but Chen Xiaodong personally clarified that the account was fake, and he was still praised by netizens for his courage for daring to speak out for the first time. News highlights: Huang Qiaking of the People's Party recently broke out the paparazzi turmoil. In this regard, Huang Qiaking said that he was only very busy after the incident broke out, and posted a series of financial reports on Facebook today, 2nd, saying that this is the real overseas funds from unknown sources. Pei Wei of the Mirror Media did not respond positively to the truth of the financial report data, thinking that the other party was pretending to be stupid. Huang Qiaking emphasized that he has always had a basis in exposing fraud, and asked Pei Wei, "Do you dare to continue to lie?" In the face of Huang Qiaking's questioning, Mirror Weekly also responded with 7 points of rebuttal, and even choked Huang Qiaking, "Do you dare to announce the financial report of Kaisai International?" The firepower between the two sides was instantly ignited. News highlights: a random slashing case occurred in Miali City yesterday, where a man surnamed Chu attacked with a knife, injuring 2 girls and 1 man. A female teacher surnamed Huang in the safety class saw a girl being threatened and bravely pulled her away but was still injured, so she immediately took the child to the village chief's house for help. The village chief assisted in stopping the bleeding and reported the case, and the ambulance quickly arrived at the scene and sent him to the hospital. News highlights: light typhoon Madham has been formed and is sure that it will not invade Taiwan, but Huadong and Pingtung have a high chance of rain during the Mid-Autumn Festival holiday, while other areas are sunny and hot. In addition, a tropical depression may develop into a typhoon Hailong. Whether it will affect the national day is still highly variable. Google AI predictions show that the path is scattered. Experts remind not to be overly nervous for the time being, and pay attention to heat prevention and local showers in the short term. News highlights: the 37-year-old Chinese actor Yu Hao fell to his death in Beijing a few days ago, and the official tone was set as accidentally falling from the building after drinking, ruling out a criminal case, but the details were not disclosed. causing many questions from the outside world. Relevant discussions and posts have been repeatedly deleted, various rumors and speculations have circulated on the internet, and the incident continues to spread, and the truth is still unclear. News highlights on September 29, a white-haired woman collided with a long-haired man sitting in the priority seat with a bag. After the incident, the man was doxxed as a graduate of National Taiwan University, and he posted on the community confirming that he had received a notice from the police and would not respond for the time being. The police said that both parties were involved in violating the Social Security law and could be fined up to 18,000 yuan. News highlights when the Korean group aespa recently held an autograph session in Shanghai, a female fan with an exquisite appearance accidentally became the focus of attention because of a photo with member Ning Ning, and was even called fairy descending to earth. After the photo went viral, her true identity was exposed, and she was actually Pan Baixu, a well-known beauty influencer in mainland China, with more than 365 followers, and netizens even praised the two as sister faces. News highlights Xiao S and Patrick were shortlisted for the 60th Admiralty Variety Show Host Award with Miss Buxadai, and Xiao S will attend the award ceremony on the 17th. Patrick thanked him for being able to cooperate with his idol Xiao S for nearly 3 years, revealing that the two interacted like siblings and had a tacit understanding. He also shared his hosting journey and preparation story, and looks forward to appearing and sharing on the Admiralty stage. News highlights Chinese actor Yu Hao fell to his death in Beijing in the early morning of September 11, and the official tone was accidentally falling from the building after drinking, but the incident was full of doubts, causing various rumors, videos and recordings on the internet to go viral. The curator said in the live broadcast that he did not care about this matter, emphasized that he believed in Chinese officials 100%, and also called on the Taiwanese people to focus on their own affairs and avoid being affected by rumors. News highlights the well-known YouTuber Lao Gao and Xiao Mo has attracted more than 600 fans with his storytelling videos, ranking at the top of Chinese YT. Yesterday, 2nd, the channel announced the suspension of updates without warning, because their dog Strength was diagnosed with lymphoma, and they will concentrate on accompanying and taking care of them. News highlights Hong Kong diva Samantha Cheng accidentally injured her back while exercising a few days ago, and was found to have 2 tears after MRI examination. In order to concentrate on recuperation, she cancelled part of her trip and suspended community updates, regained some mobility after recuperation, and plans to resume exercise. News highlights Lottie Girl Gallon broke out the scandal with wealthy businessman Huang Yujun and rumored that the mistress was suspicious, announcing that she would quit the entertainment industry after the end of this season. During a business trip to the United States, there was a leak of internal information, and she and her teammates caught each other's moles, triggering solidarity and public questioning from Zhengzi, Linda, Huang Yuhan and others, and the incident continued to cause discussion. News highlights the workplace fortune in October is promising, and Soha.com pointed out that the zodiac rat, horse, rooster and dog are blessed by luck and perform well. Rats are smart and flexible, with high opportunities for performance improvement, promotion and salary increase. Ma Yang moved forward, and orders and bonuses were bumper. Chickens are serious and meticulous, and are valued by senior management. Dogs are loyal and reliable, and noble people help their careers rise steadily. News highlights the mainland street dance program this. Its street dance participant and Chengdu Hello Dance choreographer Xie Xiaodong died in the early morning of September 29 at the age of 30 after 16 months of treatment due to a severe brain injury in an overseas work accident in 2019. The news shocked netizens, and fans left messages of condolences, lamenting the passing of young people and wishing him all the way. News highlights Mirror revealed that People's Party chairman Huang Qiuqing has been keeping paparazzi to monitor politicians for a long time, and his paparazzi team took photos of Chen Shizhong and Li Yaling 10 fingers tight in the 2022 9-in-1 general election. The original manuscript was written by former Central News Agency reporter Xie Xinjin, but Chen Shenqing, president of Ling Media, pressed the news for 1 month, and finally the photos flowed to Kuomintang legislator Su Qiuxin to break the news, causing controversy and dissatisfaction with Zhuodong business owners and media insiders. News highlights Hualien's Matayan Creek dammed lake has stored up to 90 million tons of water due to the accumulation of a large amount of sediment, and former Minister of the Interior Li Hongyuan warned that if there is heavy rain or earthquake, it may form a secondary dammed lake. He pointed out that the downstream embankment is fragile, the flood capacity of the river is declining, and early warning and evacuation drills are urgent, and suggested that the Executive Yuan coordinate reconstruction, village relocation, and interministerial committees to assist the victims in psychological and life recovery. News highlights a random hacking case occurred in Meili City yesterday, 2nd, injuring 2 girls and 1 man. The victim, male college student and retired police officer, both lamented the ineffectiveness of correctional education, and choose recidivism aroused social concern, and the case has been handed over to the judiciary. News highlights Chinese actor Yu Hao fell to his death a few days ago, officially calling it a drunken accident and ruled out a criminal case, but did not explain the details, causing netizens to question and various conspiracy theories. Foreign Policy pointed out that China's strict online censorship has fueled rumors, fans' disappointment in the sudden death of idols, and also reflected distrust of the system, and the effect of the incident has surpassed the entertainment industry. News highlights Kaohsiung Sijin Shanghai Lottery Company opened a jackpot of 2.27 million yuan in Power Lottery, which was won by one person. Miss Yang, a business owner, revealed that the lottery company went to the Nantou Land Temple to worship a few days ago, and also brought back instant noodles to distribute to everyone, but she didn't expect luck to come, becoming the second time Kaohsiung has drawn a billionaire jackpot this year. News highlights Zhonghua City's famous egg yolk crisp store Fujifang opened its stores for sale on October 3, causing a large number of people to queue up late at night, and the purchase price soared to 1,502,000 yuan per box. The mixed queue between individual customers and purchasing agents caused a verbal conflict, and the scene was chaotic, and there were also shovel supermen who went to line up to support. News highlights a 6-year-old boy in Zhengzhou, Henan, China, developed a large area of scalp redness and hair loss after raising a pet rabbit. Doctors remind young children to wash their hands frequently after contact with pets, pay attention to their skin health, keep the environment clean, and seek medical attention early to prevent the infection from worsening. News highlights the Meteorological Administration said that due to the influence of the typhoon's outer cloud system, there will be local brief showers or thunderstorms in Huadong and the Hengchun Peninsula on the 3RD4TH, cloudy to sunny in other areas, and occasional thunderstorms in the mountains in the afternoon. During the Mid-Autumn Festival holiday, 5/6th, the moisture decreased, and most of the whole Taiwan was sunny, with only brief showers in some mountainous areas in the Hengchun Peninsula. News highlights a man surnamed Hong from the Department of Law of National Taiwan University disguised himself as a female netizen, tricked men into chatting naked and recorded masturbation videos, suspected of selling and reproducing them for profit, and the prosecutor seized 6,918 sexual images, with at least 321 victims, including minors. The prosecution pointed out that he knew the law and violated the law, and was involved in a number of serious crimes such as child sexual exploitation, and had been prosecuted and sought a heavy sentence. News highlights nutritionist Lou Boren shared 7 habits to slow down aging: a balanced diet, Mediterranean diet, supplementing high-quality protein, regular exercise, aerobic and resistance and flexibility training, high-quality sleep, stress reduction and mindfulness, good interpersonal relationships, and lifelong learning and curiosity. Implementing these scientific habits can delay cellular aging and cognitive deterioration. News highlights Jackie Chan recently caused controversy at the Macau party for touching Joey Young's bare back, and yesterday, 2nd, he appeared at Lee Hum Wang's Shenzhen concert, and sang Friend with Lee Hum Wang mouth-to-mouth on stage. The two have a deep friendship, and Jackie Chan later expressed his appreciation and blessings to Lee Hum Wang on Weibo. News highlights in October this year, there are 3 consecutive holidays: Mid-Autumn Festival, National Day and Liberation Day, which make office workers think they can enjoy the 3-day week, but some netizens pointed out that the actual number of working days is the same as in November, which caused heated discussions. News highlights Hu Lingchen, a 19-year-old actor from mainland China, left the crew of the short drama Love Brain without authorization due to a quarrel with his girlfriend, resulting in a filming suspension and a loss of more than 10 yuan in a single day. Hu said that the kiss scene was too large and unacceptable, and the heroine Li Ziying countered that the man disliked the heroine and said that he was kicked, and the crew was forced completed 80 episodes in 5 days, causing heated public opinion. News highlights Hualien Guangfu Township disaster relief has entered the 11th day, and the central coordinator Ji Lianchang announced that the household dredging has been completed, and the troops will turn to road and school cleanup, with the goal of completing the road dredging before the Mid-Autumn Festival. The implementation rate of road dredging is 45%, about 1.3 tons of earthwork are cleared every day, and traffic control is strengthened to ensure safety. At the same time, schools in the hardest hit areas, such as Guangfu Commercial and Industrial, and Guangfu Junior High School, will give priority to resuming classes, and Guangfu Elementary School and Dajin Elementary School, which host the disaster victims, will also be gradually evacuated to ensure the rights and interests of students in class. News highlights this year's Mid-Autumn Festival, 10/6, coincides with the Amnesty Day, which is an excellent time to eliminate disasters and seek wealth, and if you miss it, you will have to wait another 62 years. The focus of the Amnesty Day worship includes burning incense from 5 a.m. to 3 p.m., offering longan, lotus flowers, gold paper, and tea, silently reciting confessions and prayers in your heart, and also replenishing the treasury, replacing your wallet, cutting your hair or making money. The taboos on that day are to avoid killing, sleeping in and quarreling to welcome blessings. News highlights after the 3rd reading of the special budget by the Legislative Yuan, it can be distributed within 1 month and completed within 7 months, and about 2,357 Chinese and permanent resident foreigners in Taiwan can receive it. If the Legislative Yuan procedure goes smoothly, the cash can be credited to the account by the end of October at the latest, but the government will ensure that the anti-fraud and anti-information security operations are complete. News highlights the MOU between Nvidia and Shin Kong Life Insurance expired at the end of September, and if the plan to settle in Bice hike changes, it will cause a for-loss situation, damage to government prestige, damage to New Life's corporate image, delay of NVIDIA's plan, and damage to follow-up industries and investment. Expert Li Tongrong warned that although price hike is still supportive, housing prices will be corrected accordingly, and called on the government to fully assist in ensuring the smooth implementation of NVIDIA's overseas headquarters and driving the development of the AI industry. News highlights: Honhai Group announced 3 major support plans for the Hualien flood, supporting employees, supporting victims, and supporting students. Employees and immediate family members can apply for disaster relief leave or reconstruction leave, and the affected families can receive donations of washing machines, refrigerators, and other home appliances, and the 311 disaster-stricken students in Guangfu Township will also receive a subsidy of 1 yuan each, with a total donation of about 2,000 yuan to help rebuild their homes and live with peace of mind. News highlights: since the RMB joined the International Monetary Fund's special drawing rights in 2016, China has actively promoted the internationalization of the RMB, but with limited results. After China reduced its holdings of US bonds in 2021, the proportion of the US dollar declined for a while, but it rebounded to 57.74% in 2025, and the RMB accounted for only 2.13%. China turned to gold and silver investment, while US bonds were taken over by the United Kingdom and Japan, and foreign holdings of US bonds hit a new high of $9.16 trillion. Global currency transactions are still dominated by the US dollar, and the proportion of RMB is still much lower than that of the US dollar. News highlights: the Kuomintang chairman election will be held on October 18, and the latest party polls show that former legislator Zhang Luan has a significant lead over former Taipei Mayor Hao Longbin and legislator Luo's Haiqiang. Luo's Haiqiang admitted on Facebook today, 3rd, that he had a small sense of frustration, but emphasized that if Zhang Luan is chosen by party members, he will fully support it. At the same time, supporters are called on to choose their favorite candidate and not be affected by rumors of abandonment of guarantees. News highlights: the Deutsche Bank report warns that the AI investment boom has shown signs of bubbles, and excessive capital expenditure and high stock price valuations may lead to short-term losses. However, historical experience shows that even if the bubble bursts, AI may still drive technological innovation and long-term economic benefits. News highlights: in the future, new long-term policies will adopt an adjustable design, and interest rates, mortality rates, and surcharges can be adjusted according to market changes to reduce the long-term risks of insurance companies and improve operational flexibility, and term life insurance is expected to become the mainstream. News highlights: NVIDIA's plan to enter price hike is on the verge of collapse, and the 3 major plans of Shinkong Life Insurance and the Beijing city government have not reached a consensus. New Life has prepared sufficient funds to implement the original development plan. The Taipei city government suggested that New Life could formally put forward conditions for review, and New Taipei City also stated that it could provide a place to take over, and the two sides continued to confront. News highlights: TSMC stock price once soared to 1,400 yuan on the 3rd, continuing to hit a record high, with a market value of 36.3 trillion yuan, driving Taiwan stocks to 26,556 points intraday. The market is optimistic about the revenue in the 3rd quarter reaching a new high, with a gross profit margin of 55.5-57.5%, and an optimistic outlook for the 4th quarter, with foreign investors raising their target price to 1,588-1,600 yuan. News highlights: the executive yuan proposed an additional budget to support the Hualien typhoon, and the Kuomintang Fu Kunkai suggested national compensation, and Premier Zhou Rongde responded that there are legal procedures for national compensation, and disaster area relief needs to be implemented immediately, and the two are not in conflict. After the special budget is passed, universal cash and measures to support industry, employment, people's livelihood, and national defense resilience can be carried out. News highlights: TSMC continued to hit a new high of 1,400 yuan on the 3rd, driving Taiwan stocks to break through the 26,700 point mark. Wyvern stock price rose 5% to a new high of 3,540 yuan. AI server orders are fully loaded until 2027, production capacity is tight. The company is actively planning new factories to meet the needs of international customers, and the legal person continues to be optimistic about its growth prospects. News highlights: urticaria is prone to seasonal changes, which can be caused by excessive histamine intake in the body or food, causing redness, swelling and itching. It is recommended to avoid smoked meats, shelled seafood, eggplants, fermented foods, nuts, alcohol, and overnight foods, and eat more natural fresh foods. Supplement quercetin, vitamin C, and B6 to maintain a regular work and rest schedule and a good mood, and reduce the chance of attacks. News highlights: Chinese actor Yu Hao fell to his death in Beijing in September, triggering online rumors and conspiracy theories, and even involving high-ranking officials. The analysis of the U.S. media foreign policy pointed out that the CCP's efficient censorship and official simplification of the narrative have intensified public doubts, exposed the lack of the rule of law and social distrust, and also highlighted the phenomenon of fans filling information gaps through spontaneous online surveys. News highlights: Japan's Yomiuri Shimbun reported that the Japan Coast Guard and Taiwan's Coast Guard are promoting the normalization of joint maritime training. In June this year, the second joint exercise between Japan and Taiwan was held off the coast of Okinawa's Sakishima Islands. This move also highlights the deepening cooperation between Japan and Taiwan in the East China Sea and the waters around Taiwan in response to the threat from China. News highlights: Taiwan stocks opened higher today, hitting 26,734.28 points during the session, up 355 points to hit a record high. TSMC rushed to 1,400 yuan, and Wyvern soared to 3,540 yuan intraday. AI, military industry and memory groups rotated. Delta, Shengming Electric, and Keong hit highs simultaneously. Zhongguang hit the daily limit, and Lihu and AirAsia also rose sharply. News highlights: there has been a large-scale lockup of CITIC Bank debit cards recently, with netizens complaining that they cannot withdraw or pay, and even small payments with Line Pay are locked. Mainly because multiple small transactions were judged to be abnormal by the system. The Financial Supervisory Commission stated that banks must take into account the anti-fraud and convenience of public use, and will instruct CITIC Bank to deal with it as soon as possible, and the public can unlock it through customer service or at the counter. News highlights: Japanese lens brand Hoya has launched Taiwan's first new Lexia delaying myopia deepening lens certified by TFDA Level 2, using an out-of-focus design to slow down the progression of myopia in children. Experts remind that Taiwanese adolescents have a high rate of myopia, and excessive use of 3C and lack of outdoor activities exacerbate the younger age. News highlights: the Kuomintang chairman election will be held on October 18, and leaked party polls show that Zhang Luan leads Hao Longbin with 30% support, 17.4% and Luo's Haiqiang 16.3%. Hao Longbin said to the poll, "Just take a look," emphasizing that the focus is on party members voting. Zhao Xiaokong questioned the unclear source of the poll and called on the media to verify it. News highlights: in the early morning of September 28, when he was carrying his 46-year-old daughter out, he was stabbed in a remote open space on Zhongliao 2nd Road, Kishan District, and his daughter died on the spot. The police are still clarifying the cause of the case. News highlights today: 3rd, affected by the outer cloud system of light typhoon Madham, the rain in Hualien, Taitung, and Pingtung is the most obvious. There is local heavy rain and thunderstorms in Taitung and the Hengchun Peninsula, and it is cloudy to sunny north of Kaohsiung and Yulan, and there are brief thunderstorms in the mountains in the afternoon. Madham will gradually intensify, reaching a central typhoon on Sunday, invading the Lizhou Peninsula and northern Vietnam, and the tropical disturbance over the eastern sea of Taiwan will move towards the south of Japan, which needs to be continuously observed. News highlights: Taiwan's financial digital identity verification has entered the era of integration. The financial company launched the Financial Fast ID Verification Transfer Center, which adopts FIDO international standards, and 7 banks are the first to go online. Users can choose data sharing to save time on repeated information filling and improve security and convenience. News highlights: after the flood in Hualien Guangfu Township, homestay operators and residents spontaneously provided volunteer accommodation to become disaster relief support. However, a volunteer recently lost his temper after drinking and destroyed 2 tables, and the operator decided to suspend the reception. The volunteers promised compensation and expressed their gratitude, and the operators still helped find other places to stay, emphasizing that adults need to be responsible for their behavior, and reminding everyone to respect each other's resources and maintain disaster relief order. News highlights: a 56-year-old woman was found dead in the basement of a residential building near the Science Museum in Taichung's North District at 9:15 a.m. today, 3rd. The police blocked the scene for investigation, the prosecutor directed the autopsy, the family has been notified to assist in the aftermath, and the cause of death is being further clarified. News highlights: tens of thousands of volunteers spontaneously formed a shovel Superman to clean up the disaster area, and a large number of people poured into the Guangfu railway station. The British Guardian reported that most of the volunteers are from other places, including students, monks, retirees, and families, so Taiwan Railways has increased the number of shifts. According to the report, although the disaster has faded out of the international media, the Taiwanese community still widely shares images of volunteer disaster relief, showing social cohesion and hope. News highlights: a random slashing case occurred in Mealy County on the 2nd. A 40-year-old man surnamed Chu attacked passersby with a fruit knife, injuring 2 girls and one 50-year-old man, of which the girl stabbed 3 to 4 centimeters in the left chest and the man's abdominal and back puncture wounds were dangerous. Chu Nan was only released from prison this year, and the police are currently investigating the motive and investigating